What's up, guys? This is Jackhammer2711 coming to you today with another video review. And today I'm going to be taking a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Infinite Series Skyline Sirens Black Cat action figure from the Amazing Spider-Man Marvel Legends Infinite Series line. This figure was first available right before the summertime. And she is part of that Marvel Legends Infinite Series line that is accompanying the Marvel films whenever they come out now. I got her at Walmart. She was available there for $19.99. And this is my second figure of this action figure, but I'll tell you why I purchased another one during the review. But just let's take a look at her in the packaging here. You see Black Cat there, this really fantastic Black Cat action figure in the packaging. You know, she's got her whip there in her hand that she's displaying, and of course she comes with the Build-A-Figure part. This is the Ultimate Green Goblin Build-A-Figure series, so she does come with the torso of Ultimate Green Goblin. There you see the Marvel Legends Infinite Series logo, along with the Skyline Sirens. This is where the name of what action figure you're getting would normally be, but there was a running change of this figure. It was her and the Spider-Girl figure, or Aranya, whatever her name is. I don't really know how you say that or what her name is. I don't know much about that character. But of course you got the Hasbro logo here. Then across the top you've got the Marvel Spider-Man logo. This is a comic-based figure, so right here instead of the Amazing Spider-Man movie logo, you have this Marvel Spider-Man logo here. Of course at the top you've got that nice spider logo on top of it, denoting a Spider-Man action figure. And then of course right here at the top, Build-A-Figure Collection. This is part of the Green Goblin Build-A-Figure Collection. Of course on the sides of the packaging you got that really nice image of Spider-Man swinging, more of a comic inspired look to Spider-Man there on the sides. Bottom of the packaging just has a little bit of legal documentation, a little bit of legal data, that and the proof of purchase. In the back of the figure, there you see the Skyline Sirens, one of which being that Spider-Girl that I talked about, and the other being Black Cat. And here on the top of the packaging you can see they've got a little Skyline Sirens blurb right there. I'm not going to read that, but you can read that if you want to. And then of course more Marvel Spider-Man logos and Marvel Legends logos at the top. Down there at the bottom of the packaging, of course, you do have an image of the Ultimate Green Goblin, what he'll look like whenever he's fully assembled. I do have that figure, but I've had him assembled and he's somewhere on a shelf, so you won't be seeing a review of him, unfortunately. Other figures available in the line, you do have the Spawn of Symbiotes figures, which includes the Toxin and Carnage figures. You do have Marvel's Electro, which is a movie figure. You have the Amazing Spider-Man, which is also a movie figure. Of course, your Skyline Sirens being Black Cat and Spider-Girl. You got your Deadliest Foes of Spider-Man, one being Boomerang, the other being the Ultimate Beetle. And then you have the Superior Spider-Man action figure that was also available in this line. So, Black Cat, Marvel Legends Infinite Series action figure. Let's bust her out of her plastic prison and see just what she's got going on. Alright guys, we've got Black Cat out of the packaging, and before we take a look at the figure, well, she wants to lay down on the job anyway. Let's go ahead and take a look at what came packaged with her. Of course, with all these Marvel Legends, you do get the Marvel Legends pamphlet, the what I like to call the moron's guide to putting together a Build-A-Figure. In case you can't figure out whenever you're putting together a Build-A-Figure what part goes where, they give you a handy-dandy little guide with all their figures. Blank on the back. Useless! Anyway, taking a look at the Build-A-Figure piece, this is the torso for the Ultimate Green Goblin Build-A-Figure. It is a reuse of the Avengers movie Hulk figure that was a Walmart exclusive. But it's a nice mold. It works for the Ultimate Green Goblin. It's, you know, kind of got that diaphragm joint going on up there. Nice sculpting detail in it. You can see the striations of the muscles are sculpted, and the skin detail is really nice. You know, you got his Hulk pants, or I guess Goblin pants rather, down there at the bottom. So yeah, there's the Build-A-Figure piece that comes with Black Cat. Black Cat also comes packaged with this whip. Now this is a really nice accessory. I'm just taking a look at the handle. It's a really nice, just sculpted whip handle. Nice and big, fits nicely in her hand. You got some good sculpting detail on it. But the actual sculpt of the whip is really nice. You can see like the braided leather parts of the whip going around. And it ends up in this kind of clawed, cat's claw whip end. And it's really nice. It's molded in a soft plastic. So, I mean, you can kind of, you know, stretch it out a little bit. But it's molded to stay like, excuse me, like this, in this, in this pose like this. But it's really nice. A really nice accessory. You know, Marvel Legends, whenever Hasbro used to do them, they were kind of bare bones. They didn't come with much, but they've been really starting to include a lot of nice accessories with these figures. And this is one of them. This is a nice figure specific accessory that really works well for this action figure. Taking a look at Black Cat now. This is, I'm going to just say, probably universally regarded as the sexiest, most beautiful Marvel Legends action figure that has ever been produced. She looks, I mean, the face sculpt is beautiful. She's got a beautiful face sculpt. Just very elegant, very pretty. She's got those nice big green eyes on her. The mask is painted on it in a nice detail. The mask is actually also sculpted. I don't know if you can tell there in the video, but the mask is a sculpted piece of the sculpt. It's really nice. It's not just paint detail on there. And just a beautiful head sculpt. Of course, the hair is sculpted beautifully. You know, it kind of flows over both shoulders there. It's painted white. It's painted with white paint, but it's got like a blue wash over it, and it just really gives off a nice effect. It's just a beautiful head sculpt. Hair sculpted really nicely with the individual strands of hair sculpted in there. Just really nicely done on the head sculpt here. You know, looking at the front of the figure again, of course, she's got her choker, which that's kind of an iconic part of the Black Cat costume. That black choker with the silver kind of metal medallion in the middle of it. And then the costume details on here are really nice. Of course, this is her classic costume, which is just a black bodysuit, black skin tight bodysuit. But, you know, it does have some very specific call-outs, one of which being this white frilly collar, you know, that kind of goes around down this very low-cut bodysuit. But you can even see they even sculpted in a zipper right there. That's awesome that they would actually take the time to sculpt the zipper into the detail of this costume. But as you can see, a lot of complaint, and just, I'm not trying to be a pig. This is the facts. There have been complaints over the years in a lot of action figure lines, Marvel Legends being one of them, that they don't get the female figure right. Let's lay those complaints to rest with this sculpt. Her décolletage, I guess we'll call it, is breathtaking. It's just very well sculpted. I mean, just looking at the figure, the shape of the figure, this looks like an athletic, in shape, sexy woman. What she would look like. You know, this looks like it came straight from the pages of the comics. Of course, Black Cat does have the white gloves, the white boots with the frills around the edges, and taking a look at the sculpt there, you know, you do have the white paint with that blue wash on it that really brings out the sculpt really cool. It's a nice effect. I really like it a lot. Just taking a look at the sculpts of the hands, you can see that there are claws sculpted to the gloves, in which Black Cat does have those claws on her gloves. So really nice attention to detail there. Going down, looking at the boots some more. You know, they do have that, as I said, that frill detail around the edge with that white paint and that blue wash. The blue wash on some of these figures I've seen is really, really, really exaggerated. And this one is borderline like that, but not too bad. And then, of course, her boot goes down. She's sculpted wearing these high heels. And that's a problem for me. I get it. I get that the character wears stuff like that. That is the kind of boots she wears in the comics. But that's the problem I have with it. She is so hard to get to stand. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I guess she's gonna stay right there, maybe. Nope. So aggravating. Her feet do have peg holes, so you can put her on a stand, but I'm of the belief that an action figure, whenever a company makes an action... There we go, she'll stand like that for a second. I'm a believer that when a company makes an action figure, unless they're going to include a stand with that action figure, there is no excuse for them to sculpt the feet, the footwear of an action figure in such a way that they cannot stand on their own. Actually, I don't care if they're including a stand with the figure. Whenever you sculpt an action figure, that figure should be able to stand on its own and be posed on its own without the use of a stand. That's just the way I feel about it. And see, there you go. It's really... That's the only downfall in an otherwise perfect figure, in my opinion. It's just getting her to stand. And I mean, I'll get a stand to stand her if I have to, because I mean, she's just a beautiful figure. I mean, just taking a look at her again, I mean, she looks hot. And it's weird to talk about an action figure that way, but whenever you've been getting action figure after action figure from a toy line that just looks terrible, it just does no justice to the female form. I mean, she looks fantastic. She is, without a doubt in my mind, thus far the sexiest Marvel Legend that has ever been produced. And I don't mean that to sound like a pig or a chauvinist. I mean, I'm a big respecter of women, and but she looks fantastic. She really, really does. You know, going over the articulation, her head kind of has somewhat of an up and down movement, not too much. Again, that hair is going to get away in a lot of the articulation, but you can kind of twist her head from side to side a little bit there. The hair doesn't get in the way that much. The arms do go all the way around, a little bit hindered by the hair there, but they do go all the way around. They go up about that far, and back down. She has the single point elbow, but it also does have a swivel at the elbow, so that's nice. She does have a twist at the wrist. Wrist goes all the way around. She has that really, really nice diaphragm joint that just allows a lot of movement. A lot of movement in that diaphragm joint. I mean, you can see just a nice amount of movement there. Legs go about that far out. They do hit the sculpt here a little bit. But that's not a big deal. They go about that far out. It'd be nice to be able to get her in more of a split pose for some more acrobatic poses, because she's an acrobatic character, but it's not too bad. Legs don't go back very far either because of that sculpt. They go about that far, but they do go far forward plenty enough. She does have a twist at the thigh there. She has a nice double jointed knee, so you can get some good posing out of that right there. And she does have a pivot at the ankle. And also just that crazy Marvel Legends ankle pivot, which it's not as effective on this figure because of the way the boots are sculpted. But, you know, it does work to some degree. And there you have it, folks. That's Black Cat. You know, let me get her whip and you know, put that back in her hand. She does hold on to, oops, I dropped it. That's my fault, not hers. She does hold on to the whip quite well, fits quite nicely in her hand. Yeah, so there you have it, Black Cat. About the only thing I would like to see Hasbro do with this female body sculpt, and they're starting to use it a lot on the women who are more portrayed a lot of times in the comics as more voluptuous and not like a teenage younger character. They're moving to this body sculpt quite a bit, and it's a good thing. The only thing I would like to see, no more of these boots. And if it doesn't break up the sculpt too much, I'm still a sucker for a waist twist. I really am. Even with this nice diaphragm joint that can get her twisted side to side like that, I still like to have a waist twist and you know. But if it's a matter of sacrificing the waist twist for a sculpt that looks like this, sacrifice it, because this is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful action figure with a very nice figure. And it's about time. It's about time toy companies have learned to adequately portray the female form as it's presented in comics and with these characters a lot of times. But anyway, rate, comment, subscribe. And it's a nice figure, guys. She won't stand up. Won't do it. Anyway, this has been Jackhammer 2711, and as always, I will catch you guys on the flip side.